Hello friends, this is Grandmaster Eugene Perelshteyn for chessopeningsexplained.com, and today I want to share with you how to handle the so-called jobava opening that I recently faced against very strong Grandmaster, top-ranked chess player in the US, Daniel Naroditsky, who is about 27-33. Definitely one of the highest rated GMs I faced recently. So this game, he starts with the move d4. So what is the jobava opening? After knight f6, it starts as a London system, bishop f4. But as a matter of fact, it could also start with the move knight c3. Now you can also call this the Veresov, but in reality, more or less all modern chess players call the jobava opening because of a very talented Georgian grandmaster Bahadur Jobava, who plays it all the time as white. And the idea is that after the move knight c3, black typically plays d5, and later he decides to put the bishop on f4, and after g6 plays this move queen d2, and very simple idea, I'm just gonna checkmate you. So the idea is to castle, play bishop h6, and at some point ram with the h-pawn and checkmate black. Well, that's not good for us when we're playing black. Let's see how we can counter it. So Daniel actually prefers the London system move order. After knight f6, bishop f4. Here I played g6. By the way, if you play the move e6 and decide to play b6 later, this is actually totally fine, or insert c5, c takes d, followed by b6 and go for the hedgehog. This is what we originally gave in the black book. But I actually think that besides e6, g6 is a really great way to meet the London system, because you are going to apply tons of pressure on that central diagonal h8, h8, a1 as the theme for most of our openings, such as the accelerated dragon. So let's go back to my game. After the move g6, Daniel plays knight c3. Now, what if white goes kind of classical London system, e3, c3, knight f3. Now, I will share with you how to handle the classical London system in another video. So for now, let's focus on the jobava super aggressive line, knight c3. So here we play d5. We don't want to allow white to win control over the center with the move e4. Queen d2, bishop g7. Now they immediately play bishop h6, all well-known theory. And here I played a move that may surprise a lot of players. I took the bishop. Now I can't castle because of the queen on h6. So you may wonder if this is a mistake. In reality, this was all part of my preparation. Bishop f5, castles, and now, very important move, knight g4. Because of this move, knight g4, taking on h6 made sense. Forking the queen and the f2 pawn. Here, white really has to drop back. So Daniel plays queen f4, and follow through, very important move, queen d6 exclam. It's very important to trade the queens. Notice that white can't really avoid the trading of the queens. He takes, and I take with the c-pawn. Yes, I do get double pawns, but these guys are central double pawns. Very important that they cover all the key squares, and later on, I will get counterplay on the half-open c-file. So this endgame is quite interesting. So Daniel plays knight h3. There's really no other way to protect the pawn on f2, although we can definitely say that this knight is quite ugly. e6, simple chess, e3, knight c6, and now he really wants to get that knight from h3 to f4, but first things first, he needs to protect f2 pawn. And after knight f6, knight f4, very nice expansion, g5, knight e2, and king e7. Notice that in the endgame, the king is pretty comfy on e7. My rooks are finally connected. which we cannot say about white's pieces. The rook on h1 and the bishop on f1 are just not well-placed pieces. So here we can already conclude that the opening is definitely gone great for black. You know, black has equalized comfortably. Now, you could also make an argument that maybe black can be a little bit better, but that's another story. So if you are only interested how to get a great position against the Jobava system, you can pretty much stop here. But for those of you who are really curious how I beat a 2700 Grandmaster, I'd invite you to, come along for the ride and see the rest of the game. So here, Daniel plays knight g3, hitting the bishop. Logical move, bishop g6, h4, another logical move, trying to undermine my pawns, and h6. So far, so good. He plays h5, space grabbing move, bishop h7, and f3. So his plan is quite obvious. He needs to play for e4, try to gain space, and hopefully use that to his advantage. Now, what is black's plan? Well, remember how I mentioned I have the really nice half-open file? The king is pretty weak. Even though queens are traded, this could be treated as a queenless middle game. So black starts his attack, and I played a6 in preparation for the pawn storm. e4, takes, b5, very strong move. Now he has to play a3, and here I played maybe not the most accurate, knight d7 with the idea to transfer the knight. Maybe I should have just started with rook to c8 right away. And the idea is just to put tons of pressure on the queen side immediately. Black is probably much better. But let's see what happened in the game. Knight d7, knight d1, b4, logical move, takes. And here, to Daniel's credit, he found the only way to stay in the game. I really like his idea. c3, rook c8, and now knight e3, a5, and excellent move, king b1. This looks really bad. You're walking your king right into the pin. But in reality, I don't really have enough firepower just yet to create threats. I really underestimated that move. I only anticipated the move king d1, after which the knight goes back, and let's say he plays some bishop move. Here comes the a pawn with huge initiative for black. So this is what I expected during the game, but he found a really nice move, king b1. Knight c6, bishop d3, a4. So clearly both sides have their trumps. I'm gonna try to play for a3. He's gonna try to double up, maybe activate the knight, and try to tickle me on the king side. I have pretty serious h6 weakness and potential f7 weakness. King a2, another excellent move. He's using this pawn as a shield. If I ever play a3, he simply says, thanks, but no thanks, b4, and there is no way I can break through on the queen side. So this was his idea. I played knight a5 instead, rook f1, and now I realize that knight b6 is a little bit too slow. After knight g4, knight takes pawn, f7 is probably gonna fall. He's doubling up, and I'm not quite breaking through on the queen side yet. So here I went into a long thing and I came up with an interesting idea. King f8. Well, he says I'm gonna double bishop g8. It's really interesting how my king and the bishop protect the h6, f7 pawns. Knight g4 and king g7. I have finished the defense of my king side, but white really used up a lot of the material, a lot of the heavy pieces on the knight, but they're really neutralized at the moment. And the bishop on g8 and the king on a2 is very important, guys, that you realize this x-ray. That's gonna come and haunt white for the rest of the game. So bishop b5, simply protect the knight, takes, d5, rook b7, continue the attack, takes, rook f6, and here comes the most critical moment of the game. It looks as though I am busted, right? Rook g6 is coming with check, h-pawn is gonna fall, the attack is simply unstoppable, whereas a single check is really not a big deal. He's gonna move the king out of the way, king b1 or king a1, and at least he's holding on. But Simple chess. Bishop h7, stopping all of his threats, and here Daniel really panicked. He played the move knight e3. Now, clearly, when one side starts to defend in an opposite king castling, things are not looking so great. I think his best move was to take on h6, but to see this, you have to really see beautiful tactic. After I double up, the only move that saves white is rook f7 check. So if you guys want to solve some cute tactics, what happens if the king takes the knight? Well, quite simple. Checkmate. This is what I saw, and obviously I didn't want to fall for it. Knowing that both sides were in time trouble, Daniel probably missed this idea. But after rook takes, probably knight takes is the only move because rook takes drops the piece. And here I think knight c4, and probably with best play, it's gonna get some kind of a draw. He may win a pawn, I win with a pawn, and the game is quite interesting, although I believe that my bishop will have its final word at some point. But going back to the game, knight e3 is already start of a bad plan. I double up, knight d1, and here my attack comes crushing through. Knight c4 exclam. All my pieces are perfectly lined up, and he has to probably go back on f2. He decides to play aggressive chess, but what do we have here? A potentially very nice pin. Not bishop g8 quite yet because of knight f5 check, and he's gonna take on h6 with check. Instead, simply taking on b2, he tries to get more material, but very nice move knight c4, move 40th. I've made time control, and here he's totally lost. If he plays a logical move rook c6, then I simply play knight e5. Notice that whenever the rook moves, this is check and mate. And if king goes to a3, obviously he's not going to be too far away from getting mated because also rook b3 is an idea. So no matter what, he is pretty much lost. If rook, for instance, a6, then I have another beautiful tempo, knight d2 attacking this guy. Again, check, and the two connected rooks will give maybe mate, maybe win lots of material, doesn't really matter. Black is totally winning. So under lots of pressure and probably knowing that he's lost, Daniel plays the move rook to e6, maybe setting up a little bit of a trap. If bishop g8, then check, and again, if king goes to the f file, I block the bishop, and king goes to the h file, then he's going to take with check, and I have to play bishop h7 back. Not what I expected. But here I have one move that wins the game on the spot. Let's see if you can figure it out. And the move here is quite simple. Rook b3. He can give me one spy check, but after king h8, the game is practically over. There's no stopping mate in one. He's going to have to give up a rook. So this is how I managed to beat a very strong grandmaster with very nice opening preparation, some aggressive middle game play, and, you know, in mutual time trouble, he missed some good opportunities. As a result, he lost the game. I hope you guys use these lessons and win a bunch of other games, and let me know about it. Thank you very much. This was Grandmaster Eugene Perelshteyn for ChessOpeningsExplained.com.